Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. This week, it really feels like AI is getting personal, weaving itself into everything we do. But at the same time, all this progress has a price tag. And from our consoles to our music, those prices are getting very, very real. All right, so here's what's on the docket. We're going to kick things off with how AI is becoming our new co-pilot. Then we'll look at the future of our digital security, our new digital locks. After that, we're talking about the rising cost of tech, checking out some hardware wins and, well, some fails. And we'll wrap it all up with a look at the tricky tightrope tech companies are walking between their platforms and politics. So first up, AI gets personal. And this is a big one. AI is moving way beyond being just a cool party trick. It's embedding itself deep into the software we use every day. The goal? To be less of a tool you pick up and put down, and more of a constant partner in, well, pretty much everything. And it really makes you wonder, right? Is there any part of our digital lives that won't have an AI assistant soon? OpenAI is definitely betting the farm on it, especially with their latest updates to ChatGPT. Okay, so let's break down what's new here. First off, the free plan is actually really generous now. Everyone gets access to the new GPT-5 model, which is huge. But the real reason you'd upgrade to that $20 plus plan isn't just for a couple of new features. It's about getting more runway, hitting those usage caps less often, and getting to play with the cool new toys like the AI agent and the Sora video generator. And that massive $200 Pro plan? Yeah, that's for the serious power users. We're talking researchers and developers who need the floodgates opened. So the bottom line is this. For most of us, for daily questions and tasks, the free plan is going to be more than enough. But if you're one of those people constantly getting that you've hit your limit message, or if you're just dying to create some AI video, that $20 plus plan is absolutely the sweet spot. That Pro plan is, let's be honest, for a very specific professional crowd. And this is pretty cool. They're also giving us more control. With these new smarter pacing options, you can literally tell GPT-5 how long to think. Need a quick fact? Use the snappy standard mode. But if you're wrestling with a really complex problem, you can flip it to extended, or even heavy if you're a pro user, to let the AI really chew on it for a bit. It's all about making the AI work for your specific need at that moment. Now, as all this AI gets more and more woven into our lives, our security becomes that much more important. And that brings us perfectly to our next topic, the big push to move beyond the password, which, let's face it, has been the weakest link in our digital lives for decades. And the replacement for the password is this thing called a passkey. So instead of a password that you have to remember, and that can be stolen from some company's server, a passkey uses a unique, secret key that lives right on your device, like your phone or your laptop. It's a totally different way of proving you are who you say you are online. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. Passwords can be tricked out of you through phishing or stolen in a massive data breach. But passkeys? They're stored on your device. They're unique for every single website, and they are basically immune to those kinds of attacks. You can't guess them, you can't brute force them. It is just a massive leap forward for security. So the big question has always been, how do you get millions of people to actually switch? Well, it looks like Google has a plan. In their experimental version of Chrome, they're testing a feature that just automatically upgrades your saved passwords into passkeys for you in the background. You wouldn't even have to do anything. If this rolls out to everyone, it could be the single biggest push to finally kill the password. But what if you're thinking, I don't really want all my eggs in the Google basket? Well, that's where companies like Proton come into the picture. They're building a whole alternative universe of apps, from VPN and email to cloud storage, and it's all built around privacy and end-to-end encryption. It's a really compelling choice for anyone who wants to opt out of the data-heavy models of the big tech giants. All right, let's move on to our third theme, the high price of progress. Because from those AI subscriptions we just talked about to next-gen gaming, all this amazing new stuff is starting to add up, and it's hitting our wallets. And nothing, I mean nothing, makes that point clearer than this number right here. If you're a gamer in the US, you might want to brace yourself because $650 is the new price of admission for a flagship Xbox Series X starting this October. And it's not just the top-tier console. The whole lineup is getting more expensive. The Series S is going up $20, and that 2TB special edition Series X, it's jumping a massive $70 to hit $800. Microsoft blames the macroeconomic environment, but this is the second time they've raised prices in a year. and it's a really clear signal that high-end tech is just getting more expensive. It's not just hardware either. Let's talk about Spotify. After years and years of waiting, they are finally rolling out lossless audio. I've been testing it for about a week, and the good news is the sound quality is a huge improvement. You can hear so much more detail. And what's really great is that you don't need fancy headphones to hear it. Even with standard Bluetooth earbuds, you'll notice a difference. Plus, you can download the tracks, which is great. But, and there's always a but, right? There are a couple of catches. First, Spotify's version of lossless, well, good, is technically a step below what rivals like Apple Music and Tidal offer. They deliver true high-resolution audio. And second, a word of warning. Streaming these giant files will absolutely demolish your mobile data plan. So it's a great upgrade for sure, but it comes with some real-world trade-offs. You know, paying more for new tech doesn't always guarantee it's going to be perfect, which brings us to our next section, hardware hits and misses. For every amazing new device that just works, there's another one that kind of stumbles right out of the blocks. A perfect example of this was Mark Zuckerberg's recent demo where his new Meta smart glasses totally failed on stage. But this quote from The Verge has a really interesting take on it. In an age where everything is a perfectly polished, pre-recorded video, having a live demo fail can actually build trust. It reminds you that this is real tech with real flaws, which somehow makes the parts that do work feel even more authentic. And speaking of hardware flaws, this one's a bit of a head-scratcher. Some people with the new Google Pixel 10 Pro XL are finding their videos have really muffled audio. And the reason? Well, it turns out Google swapped the microphone and speaker positions from the last model. So now, for a lot of right-handed people, their hand naturally covers up the mic when they hold the phone sideways to record. It's such a small design change, but with a really annoying result. And for our final section, we're going to zoom out. We're going from specific products to the massive tightrope these huge tech companies have to walk every single day, the one stretched between their platforms and the world of politics. The whole saga over TikTok in the US is the perfect example. I mean, it's been a total roller coaster. We went from a hard deadline for a sale to a vague framework agreement being announced. Then just this week, President Trump said progress was made after a call with President Xi. But what's the reality? The deal's future is still completely up in the air, and millions of users are just stuck in the middle. And this tension is popping up everywhere. This week, Disney suspended Jimmy Kimmel's show after he made a joke about the killing of Charlie Kirk. This happened after the FCC chairman suggested action could be taken against the network. This quote from another FCC commissioner, Ana Gomez, just shows you how high the stakes are. She's framing Disney's move not as a simple content decision, but as a dangerous caving to political pressure that she believes threatens the First Amendment itself. And all of this leads to one final, really tough question. As these platforms, social media, streaming services, become our modern public square, the lines get so blurry between what's a company's policy, what's government regulation, and what's free speech. So who gets to decide the rules? Who's the referee? There are no easy answers here at all. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.